Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly session, Adobe Presents the D&AD Awards, which is a series where we share panel discussions, live Q&As, and behind-the-work talks with some of D&AD's pencil winners and jury presidents. So just to remind everyone, our partnership is stretching across different platforms, and there's a lot happening in this partnership. We have Adobe Live, of course, but plenty more on our YouTube channel as well. So we'll make sure to share a link to everything that's happening with D&AD this summer, the next 2 months. So we'll keep going. So hopefully that'll be in the chat as well for everyone on Behance. Join us if you're watching from YouTube. So we had Kwame last week with a truly passionate session talking about the impact category. I was really grateful to be part of that discussion. And I hope some of you were able to catch us or watch on replay. And of course, today we move on to a new award category with Mónica Moro joining us. How are you?
Hello, good morning. Very well. Happy to be here connected with you and everyone.
We'll be together, for the next hour. And I won't surprise the category that you're presenting, spoil the surprise of the category that you're presenting today. But we'll get there in a second. Before we kickstart, a fantastic guest joining us again today. I want to say, Mónica, you're introduced as a Chief Creative Officer from McCann, if I'm not wrong. In Spanish, it's Directora General Creativa.
That's it, yeah.
Yes, got it. I'm pulling my Spanish classes from my French background.
It sounds perfect. It sounds perfect.
I worked on it. But just to give everyone a sense of your path and where you're from, where you're based, you've been named on Forbes 100 Most Creative People in Business. You were voted the most admired creative in Spain. So I'm sure you've heard this many times, but please introduce yourself and tell everyone about your work as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I'm in McCann forever. So it's so strange, but I've been there for a long, and in an agency that has lived a very interesting transformation in maybe in the last 20 years. But you know what happened with networks, no? Sometimes with big agencies that they have this past to be very service oriented, but what we try to do in the past, and we keep maintaining this, is to transform the agency is the mentality, of course, on the fourth, like a big one, with the mentality of a boutique, trying to make like tailor-made dresses for every client, and it works. So it's not these things about size matters in terms of agencies and boutiques. We try to work like a small when is needed and big when is needed, and we transformed a lot the agency in the past, as I say, 20 years. So it's long ago, and try to become one of the best agencies, but not just doing the best work we can do for our clients and brands, and building a reputation with real work, real brands, no matter if they're big, no matter if they're small, and trying to help them, and also with awards like this, with shows like D&AD, that trying to, when the industry gives you back that smell of that, you think maybe I have something here that works, that is cool, and that also helped us to build and to put us where we are now. But the most important thing for us at the agency is consistency, because it's like, when you do this, not 1 year, 2 years, it's when you do it for forever, and that is exhausting sometimes. But that is what we in the competition that we are. So trying to be always there.
And have you seen some kind of thread and kind of common theme in the work and you've done for clients, and this kind of mission that you have seen across consistency, as you said?
Yes, I think that we try to do like relevant work. So our question when we do something is this is something that who cares about this? No, sometimes we do the torture test to the work, because sometimes clients, and brands are super egocentric, so they look at themselves and they think, that is important. But guys, sometimes our answer to them is that maybe you want to talk about that book, but nobody's going to read that book because it's not relevant for the people. It's not relevant to talk about shampoo, but maybe it's relevant to talk about beauty. So we're trying to create conversations between people and the brands about relevance. So what is important? I like always to say to the combination with that, with the a big human side of the brands, and to be very close to the people. One of the things that I like to do the most is observe. Observe people, observe conversation. I love to go in the underground, but I don't take it so much lately
anymore. Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, but it's to watch people. Go to special places like museums, no, or the shops of the museums are places that I like, because it's like strange places with the behavior is different. What people does when they are alone, when they go together, and it's and observing the people, trying to think that behind them there is a soul with problems, with not much money, and they have to take some decisions. And what is your place inside of this equation as a brand is very interesting.
Definitely. And we see that actually consumers are carriers of emotions as well. And there was a phrasing that I was really drawn to, which is la creativa de los emociones. And that really means that this differentiation that you, on the work that you've done, also means that, brands are pressured to reflect so many different conversations that are happening in the world right now. And as you said, maybe in a self-centered way, want to put their stamp on it. But you're really committed to deep diving into these emotions and narratives, and maybe take a different angle to differentiate yourselves, and especially in conversations that are not talked about and other brands are not necessarily addressing. And that's how you've kind of brought
Yeah,
this human factor maybe
yeah,
in.
absolutely. Yes. Sometimes it looks like you need to ask for permission to talk about some stuff when you're
Yeah.
a brand. And what you see in the last years, everybody's talking about what is the purpose? The purpose of our brands very close to causes, helping society with trends and things that matter to people, like sustainability, like the gender gap, or feminism, or whatever. But for me, it's something that it's natural. So I don't think that the brands are here just to sell things. We are there to buy things. So if a brand see the people like clients, they are wrong. So we are human beings, citizens with our, and we care about the brands that care about us, not only in selling the product that I like, but I always think that maybe if people would know more information about the brand, for example, if the brands vote, if the brands have the power to vote in a candidate for the government, and you would know that information, probably people would decide differently what brand to buy. You know what I mean? So it's something, and that is what makes decisions, the people to know about that brand, and not only what is in their web page saying I do like this, or I create my products like that. It's how you act, how you communicate. That is so important today, more than ever, probably.
And I think there's this idea that brands are now becoming superfluous, so we're getting a little bit distracted with what we want to talk about, and the space is getting very saturated and out there in terms of conversations. And I think you've been an advocate for stripping back a little bit and going to really what is the pure emotion and raw emotion that we really want to communicate on. And do you have an idea of a project or anything that has been a highlight, a client work, where you've carved this space and
Yeah.
reflected this?
Yes, more than one. A project is with the brands that we work.
Yeah.
We have a brand, for example, that is very unexpected. I mean, in terms of what they do, it's called Campo Frio, and what they do is a factory of sausages, ham, and chorizo. So it's the less glamorous brand in the world. So
Very
when
nicely put.
absolutely. So they say to
Yeah.
us, no, we we are in the charcuterie business. So it's not like working with Nike, that is like, oh, sports shoes or something that looks like glamorous, or even a car, or whatever sounds more glamorous to sell jamon or chorizo. But we did a lot of work with that, because we started to work with that, they say we have envy of another brands that they do great things, but we are groceries, so we are, how do you say charcuteros, charcuterie, how do you say in
We say
English?
this in French as well. So I think it's just cured meats, maybe.
Cured meat,
Is
yes,
that
yes, but
correct?
it's what they said. We have we have pigs, and we sell this, so it's like, I would say the intention was beautiful, because they say you don't need to have complex while you're selling, and you are allowed to talk about everything. And we are now, after 10 years that we've been working with them, there is one of the most desired brands to work in advertising. So is, in the rankings, they appear always like the most desired brands for other agencies to work with.
Yeah.
They are in every competition, in every award shows, winning from Cannes to D&AD to everywhere. They love to do things, they love to connect. But the most important thing, so it's not about only reputation in our industry, because that is bullshit sometimes. And it's something that, of course, we love. But the real world out there, what is up, the people love it. The people are asking for the next campaign in Christmas, for example, and we sell ham, cured meat. And we are not talking about cured meat anymore. We are talking about human being. We are talking about taking a position about problems, real problems of the people, like feminists, like some laws that we have in Spain, problems about poverty. We talk about corruption. We talk about everything, very close to the brand. That is a brand of joy. So we defining the enemies of joy, and we have a lot. So we have many things to do with that.
And I think it's also matching the right emotion and the right topic, right? Because I think some brands will also be a complete mismatch for the feminism conversation, or you will feel a little bit irrelevant for the audience. So I think we also take users and consumers as audiences in general sometimes as not that clever, but actually, we're all also able to see when things don't fit quite well. And Christmas, for example, you mentioned, has been a really tricky space recently, because every year brands are now jumping onto the emotional, narrative and trying to create something different.
Yeah, it's a new Super Bowl, Christmas, everywhere.
Exactly.
It's the new Super Bowl everywhere, and you have to compete to take and of course, it's like it's very. If you see the campaigns that obviously they are like the highlighted in Christmas everywhere, of course they touch emotions, but sometimes it's how you do it. How you're able, and sometimes it's with humor. We've seen watching the IKEA with the wrap there in the UK that was so famous, and it takes another shortcut to get to a place that it was like to do completely different style. But talking about things again that they are relevant to people and they care, or they touch something in them that sometimes is with humor, and talking about something that nobody else is talking about, to be together. This is what happened with us with Campo Frio. We are in humor every Christmas, and it works.
Yeah. And emotion is timeless as well, so that's something you can always touch on every Christmas. I mean, it makes me think of John Lewis, who has this increased pressure now to also every year deliver something, right? And I can't imagine Adam and Eve and what they've been working on every year.
Absolutely,
to plan,
no. We feel the same pressure, because it's like no. When the Christmas season, so we started to work now in summer, say, oh, no, again, what I'm gonna tell this year? And again, it's like, imagine if in another sectors, for example, in the industry of the movies or cinemas or whatever. Imagine when you write The Godfather, you write Godfather 1, Godfather 2. Let's do Godfather 3. Imagine The Godfather 10. It's crap. So it's to be reinventing ourselves every time. So it's like, it was. So it's sometimes it's lucky. Sometimes it's a lot of talent and effort put of many people there trying to do the best. But sometimes just it doesn't happen. Sometimes it's like a little bit not so good.
Just a bit off. And in terms of your own path and your experience getting into advertising, where do you feel this passion for humanization and values, this kind of sensitivity come from, and how did you find yourself in this
I think
field?
that there are many things that comes from, as I say, from mom and dad. So the things that comes from your homes, from your past, from your heritage, from how you've been raised, the things that happen in your house. I truly believe that we are what happened at home when you are a kid, in your first maybe 15, 20 years of your life. Is how you are educated. I mean, in these terms of sensitivities, is the things that, of course, there are some things that we have like in a hardware, comes boom inside, and you are what you are. But there are a lot of behaviors of things that are related of what you breathe at home. It's very simple, and it sounds very cheesy when I say it, but I don't want to sound cheesy. But that is something that marks you. I think that there are things that are not controlled, but it's what happens in your little life when you are a kid and when you are there, how your parents educate you, or the school. So that has a lot of influence in people, I think.
And sometimes subconscious, right? And I don't think sometimes you're able to pinpoint what makes you feel something. We don't have this kind of knowledge and grasp sometimes of our own behavior, which is why marketers also struggle to tap into that. It's
Yeah,
not.
no, because it's not difficult. And also there is
Yeah.
something that is very cultural. I mean,
Yeah.
difference from example from the UK and Spain, no, and even
Yeah.
how we face this crisis.
Yeah.
In Spain, we have a lot of laws saying people, please stay at home. They almost put us some locks in our door.
Yeah.
Why? And even in another countries like Sweden, it has to be completely different. People, they are responsible and say, this is what we have, do what you want to do, and that is what we. It's completely different. Here we're passionate. We need to go to the bar. People, in the moment that they open an opportunity to leave the house, the police has to be in the streets saying, people, please go back to your houses. You're gonna die. We are having
Yeah.
1,000 people dying every day. And it's culturally how we behave. We are more passionate. We need to say things to express how we feel. We don't
Yeah.
have problems to show our emotions easily. Maybe in the
Yeah.
north countries, in the countries from the north, is different. They don't touch each other so much. They don't need. They are. We are different. That is also the richness of the diversity
Yes.
in ideas, and yeah. But that are things that at least at the end of the day, that they're putting you some bag in your back that defines how you do things. Mhm.
And talking about the current situation, how has that impacted your own work and moving at home, and
Oh,
yeah, bringing the office to your own house? I'm sure the divide, especially is in
yeah.
your
I,
role, has
I
been
I have to be
tricky.
here in this room. That is the only quiet room that I have in my house, because my house, when we built we did our house, we didn't put any doors. It was like,
Oh, okay.
oh, everything is open. So,
Social,
of course, I
cultural
had some
again.
rooms, but now, and of course, you can work, but with two little girls. So
Yeah,
I have twin daughters. They are 6 years old, and they are homeschooling, and they are so, and that is complicated. I think that I love to work at home, of course, and I think that is something that this crisis have put like in the accelerator of changing things about how we work, about conciliation between work and family life balance. So that is
yeah,
a positive thing, working at home. But for me, it's not good for creativity.
yeah,
It's good for concentration sometimes, but I need my teams. I need to be together in the same room with people. I think it's like everything alive, like the organic things. They need the sun and the water. We
yeah,
need each other. And to give feedback through a screen is horrible. And to share ideas, to build things. I mean, in terms of creativity, and what I feel about the screen is that you live in a linear time. For me, when we are in a room, when we are at the agency, the time is not linear. The time expands,
yeah.
and you can jump from one thing. And here is like, oh, so no, 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 no. I
And
think it's not
how?
good for creativity, but we
How?
manage. Of course,
Yeah.
we've done campaigns, we've done everything, we've done pitches, presentations,
Wow.
and like the good thing is that everybody is in the same situation like you, and everybody understands things. But I need to watch the reactions. You know what happens? Imagine presentation. You are presenting to a client, and everybody switches the camera off. They turn on the camera off, so you don't see the faces,
Oh, wow.
the reactions, the spontaneous reactions while you're sharing with an idea that you love. You are missing that. So
The
it's like
human
the pulse
connection.
of the meetings, because everybody's, no, I have bad connection, I prefer. So you are in the middle of the screen presenting something. You have your keynote or your campaign or your whatever you have, but you don't see anyone there.
Yeah,
It's
it's not just getting this feedback, immediate feedback from anyone, right? And we're
yeah, the
craving
things
this
that
in the
are
end.
alive and
Yeah.
that you can
Yes.
make you react. And it happens the same creating campaigns. That is what we
Yeah.
have. And we are coming back to the office but we are going to start also working from home forever, 2 days per week. That is nice for some things. But then come back together when we have creating campaigns and to be together, that's going to be better than this.
Yeah. And we have a question from the chat as well, with everyone watching along. So please do ask questions. And someone has been asking, as a young creative that has been stopped in their career tracks due to COVID-19, when do you think placements will be back on? And what is happening, for example, at McCann and in the industry in terms of hiring or
it's very important. It's a great question because imagine the trainees and intern people that come to the agency every day, and now we are not there. And with this crisis, so nobody has been focused on them, and we need to help them. So we are now creating at the agencies what we are going to do. We are come back to the program that we have with the students and doing differently. So they are going to do it like us. They are coming to the agency the days that we are coming, and the days that not, they will work from home or wherever they can. But it is true that in these months they have been completely abandoned in a way. Not to have like kind of mentorship, but what we are doing at the agency is that the mentors of the younger students have been in contact with them and sharing with them briefs and stuff, but they have been abandoned. They have been suffering a lot, and we need them and they need us. So it's something that is what we get from the fresh and junior talent from students is so important, and we all started like them. So we need to pay back, and of course we are getting back to bring them back to the agency with us. Of course, yes. They have to be patient. They have to understand that this is going to be like a long holidays, but everything will be back.
Yeah, and I think it's something you said is this generation will not have the same fair chance that maybe we had starting off in this world and getting into the industry and a foot in the door. And it was already challenging, but this is actually a really unknown situation, and uncertainty is always a concerning one.
Yeah, but they have to rethink also. I think that is going to be a great opportunity for them. I tell to some of them, you have the time now, work at home, prepare new stuff, do a better portfolio, surprise us, don't be like waiting. So you have to do things, you have to work, you have to reinvent, you have to improve your portfolio for sure. So
and this is what you were saying about changing creativity as well. This is putting a lot more pressure on everyone to be creative and fast and reactive. So proactive, not just reactive, actually.
Absolutely. Yes.
So let's talk a bit more about as well your category, because we are talking about D&AD as well today, and I'd love for you to introduce it and tell us a bit more about your involvement.
Yes. I've been during the person outdoor category, and for me the surprise has been that we haven't seen. For me, it was very easy to judge it. I mean, in terms of there wasn't like millions of work. No, it just seemed there was like a normal quantity of work there. And it was it's a very beautiful category. I mean, sometimes it's easier than another more complexity, because here you have the idea in front of you with no tricks. So it's not the trick of a case study. It's not the trick of the results were like we changed the law. With results were that we. No, it's just the pure advertising. I think it's one of the oldest way of advertising. Of course, it has changed a lot, but it's the pure idea there in front of you. And so it was good. We make a short list, very short, because I think it's what happens in the D&AD. The privilege of this to be during this in this show in D&AD is that the demanding on how you are looking for excellence makes to be super exquisite picking up the work, and I think we did a good work with the jury, the amazing jury, picking the best thing in their category. Of course, there is something a subjective part, and maybe we did mistakes, but the point was to choose the most beautiful stuff. And if you want, we can go through some of the work, or the special ones, or something that there has been like there. Because but what I feel like the highlights of the category is that not copy anymore again. So
Yes.
for many years behind, so it's like the copywriting in press. I mean, in terms of this kind of press, of course, when you read a newspaper or when you go in the street, you see some posts they, of course, they are text more than ever. But when the era became everything so digital, and now the press is more like digital, like an Instagram post or a Facebook post, it's another kind of writing, and I miss that because I am copywriting in my background. I'm copywriting, and I still look for that, and there is nothing there. So the majority of the work is like visual impact. Make it easy. That's happening from the last many years. When you see a long copy ad, it's there and say, wow. But we ask to these kind of pieces much more than to the others. It's like it has to be impeccable, and that's not happening now. So it's everything is very visual. So not copywriting anymore. It's the power of craft. So craft is something that in this category is needed, absolutely needed. Sometimes you see ideas that they are not so great, but they are so beautifully crafted that it goes up very easy. But about ideas is like what I miss. So the ideas that we see is they are very simple sometimes. So all the package that you put behind is what makes them fly. But everything in print and posters are very simple ideas. Very is there, very clean.
So you talked about the shift from copy to visual impact, and was there any other theme that you saw that changed maybe from the previous years that are coming up again?
And no, it's that, for example, it's the lack of copywriting, but also for me, I miss a lot of innovation in the category. I haven't seen a lot of innovation. So it's like I was surprised because now we have technology. We have many things to do. Of course, we have some things in the debates, like the bad waster campaign with that you have to Google it to find this, to search the pictures. But it was awarded in previous years, so we decided not to include it in the competition in the shortlist. But the point is that innovation in this world, it's like how people are not taking the whole opportunities that you can get in innovation in print. So there's not much innovation, just one or two things. So so many no's, no copywriting, not innovation. Yeah, it could be like that for me. The things that are and also it's beautifully what I say, the craft impeccable. The comeback of photography, so not many illustrations, just a couple of campaigns in illustration. So, but it's because of the craft, and you see that when they are like great stuff, it's more close to art than to advertising. And that is very lovely to see.
What kind of criteria do you have when selecting work in this category?
Yeah, of course, the criteria was always to find work that was inspiring, with a great idea and absolutely like with a great craft. But for me, I have something that is very simple to decide, and it helps me to decide. That is something that you want to remember, something that you don't want to forget. That when it happens 1 year or 2 years, you go to the book and it's inspired for you and it's there because it represents something that you don't want to forget. So it's something that has to be memorable, to be there and to stay there forever. And some things is I don't want to remember this. So it's very easy to decide when you say, I need something is this, wow, this is great. It deserves to occupy a place in a book and to stay there forever. So that is something that is very useful to have in mind with the criteria, of course. Of course, inspiring, of course, very crafted and with the idea in the middle. So for me, it's ideas first, always.
And what takes it to a black pencil, for example?
Black is like it's like to be Mr. Universe and to win the Nobel Prize, so it's to have everything.
Really high expectations.
No, yes, it's something that maybe what we look for black pencil is iconicity.
Yes.
So are icons in the history of advertising, in communication or design. So you're looking for iconicity, things that are absolutely outstanding, gems,
and was there any that got close
unicorns.
to that? Or do you have a highlighted favorite piece of work that
Yes, of course,
you want
we
to
can.
share? Yeah.
Absolutely, there is something that for me is one of the best
Yeah.
in the show. That is a Mosley Whopper
Yeah.
from Burger King.
Great.
We can see the video.
There is a video linked to that, definitely. If we can share that
Yeah,
little
we can say
show
that.
reel.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a campaign that everybody
Yep.
knows in this
Yep.
moment. But for me and for all the jury members, it's beautiful because when you have so much great stuff, when you have something so good, there are no debates. There's just to say in flowers to this.
Yeah.
It's like the discussions come from the work that is under the line. You know, it's like you spend a lot of time discussing with that. But when something is great, absolutely perfect, it's like no discussion. It's just to put people like saying yes, yes. And with this is something that for me it's very iconic, and it's for me is one of the best pieces of work of the year, not
So
only in
you
the
feel,
category.
yeah, judging this was actually quite anonymous. It wasn't a debate piece, right?
No, it was a debate. It was everybody was agreed in this
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's something that it has changed. It's in an industry full of problems, like is the food, this kind of food. And what they did is, in a beautiful and absolutely beautiful way, is to face the problem inside. But it's not only in this case, of course, it's a you're going to see the posters and the prints, big posters in the middle of the street, or amazing press in the middle of your newspaper. But for me, it's not a press, it's not a poster. It's a statement of a company. It's a PR campaign. It's it's a lobby campaign. It's an educational campaign. It's something that is making the industry go forward. I mean, these are making other people in the same industry saying, maybe we have to change our food, maybe we have to say something, maybe and probably and this is also something that makes the brand like relevant to people, not only the people that go to Burger King to eat a sandwich, but to the whole world understand and respect this kind of food. So if you want to,
Great.
we can
Keen to
watch.
watch. Yes. Alexandre, give us a nudge if you're able to show the video. It would be great for everyone to see a snippet. Are we all good? Do we know? Do we have any hints?
I don't hear
I don't know if
anything.
they're able to show it.
Yes.
I'll have a look. It would be great to see. Otherwise, we'll have to just talk about it.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
the
don't
video
hear
was
I don't know if
shown.
anything.
they're able. Okay, great,
The-
great.
So
Okay, we're
we've seen it.
seeing. Yes, great. We can talk a
Okay.
bit more about it.
Okay. No, I think it's a great example, and it's an amazing how something so ugly can be so amazing, and it's and with the product in the middle. So sometimes in advertising we try to hide, you know, and
Yeah.
to create. It would be very difficult with this campaign to make, you know, to write in a paper and to tell it in a different ways, but how the honesty behind this idea is what it makes it so good, so great, it's so impactful. You know,
Yeah.
it's like wow, and so special. So yeah, and impacts in the people. So it's this is also for me. It could be for me. It's a black pencil because also the ideas that are transcend to their category. So it's not a press, as I was saying. It's PR. It's integrated. It's whatever it is. So I don't know what it is. It's everything, and it's that what makes them so special. Yeah.
And have you seen anything out there that wasn't necessarily in this category and through D&AD that has really been outstanding in the advertising world at the moment? And anything in mind that in terms of activations that has been close to this?
Yeah, yes, we have been from another categories. We've seen things that they are amazing, like for example the Kia Christmas campaign that we've been mentioned. That is so funny and so special. That it's like that you don't want to stop watching it. No, you like it and you want to see anymore. And it's great because it connects with the people. So it's not advertising made for advertising people for us. That happens a lot in my category, in the press and poster category. There are many of that work that is created for shows. It's something that has the press categories has transformed in the last years, and it's everything that is how a company of chewing gum is doing like this size of press thing. No, you never seen. But of course, yes, we've seen something amazing. For example, for the campaigns that they are outstanding, like the Back to Africa, for example, the tourist campaign that is making for the Black community, how it doing something very simple that is through the conversation. That is something that we have seen with another brands, but how they transform the message with something positive, and also with using the intelligence of Google to bring the people to the community, to the Black community into the conversation and see them as protagonists of the campaign. So that was beautiful also.
Something that we see across, I think you mentioned IKEA a few times, and IKEA is a really good example of the pace at which they're able to react to some of these, events happening in the world. And for example, lockdown and the fort building campaign was one that they just jumped on, and suddenly that was a perfect tone of voice. And it's almost, I always wonder how they are able to, think of a brief so quickly and just put this out there. And it's, taking that risk as well, that it might not go down well, or they're able to create this creatives and just really jump on it so quickly.
It's because it's a very creative company itself. What they do, they also, I have them like yes, they are my clients in Spain, and they are amazing clients because they do care about creativity. They are a creative company, and that is something that, and they have this idea of react, in terms of responsibility about things, and that is something that is amazing to understand, like a brand that is there and taking the opportunity and the moment and respond and do things easy, quick, and very active, as you said before, not reactives but actives. Yes, they are.
And we talked a lot about brands, but from an agency perspective, we're seeing a lot of, the likes of Saatchi & Saatchi submitting work to these categories. And what do you say, you talked at the beginning about boutique agencies, about also having some chance to enter, these categories and awards and getting some spotlight, and smaller players.
No, but they are small, but they are huge. They are, you're talking independent agency, and why then as an independent agency or mother, and they are super power tank. So it's not, we are not talking that at independent agency and like two people sitting in front of each other, and that is of course they are like kind of boutiques. And for me, it's the era of the boutiques. I think that this is something that our business is transforming, because at least in Spain, that what is happening is that there are many good creatives. They are starting their own businesses, starting from something small, and you get the freedom to act and to decide in your company, and to take the decisions, to go to the clients that you decide to go to the pitches or not, depending, just your decision. And they are doing good. They are doing very good. In Spain, it's very atomized, so it's like little atoms, our industry, and in terms of independent agency, and for me, it's the era of the talents more than the companies. And that is something that is good to have in of course, what they don't have is the power of a big agency with a muscle to solve another kind of problems or to have another kind of resources. So you want to do, and because of that, agencies like widen grows because they need to do things to become global and to go to other continents and to have another visions of planners in another countries. And that is what you need if you want to play in another league, not just in the local championship.
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of talking about the future of agency world and industry and advertising in general. And what do you feel the future will be for this category, more specifically for press and outdoor, and where is it going?
It's complicated because everything, as the world is digital, for example, the press, in press, to have like beautiful things in press, getting some magazines, and there are some categories like industries that go in there, like the beauty or the rest of the stuff, or something very particular in a very time. But I think is that, imagine in the lockdown, we have that. So no publications, everything goes through the screen. You buy the newspaper, you read it in your screen. So there's no more paper in your hands to see a beautiful double page in the middle of the newspaper. That is not happening anymore. You are going to have a lot of banners there that we all hate. That is the horrible thing that this industry creates. Shitty advertising, invasive everywhere. But sorry, I closed my brackets about that. But it's for this category, for me, because for that is so important to do the innovation in the category. Something that I love, for example, and in the outdoor, that is one other of the examples that it has won a lot, is the street vet of Purina. When you do things like that, of course, that kind of things for me, they have a lot of future because it's innovation and it's outdoor. That of course, that is something that for me has a lot of future, the outdoor category. Especially when you do something that helps people, that is relevant. It's not just in the landscape in the city. So to do more landscape, it's better to don't spend any money doing landscape. But if you do something that is there and it helps, like the street vet, that help the owners of dogs and to help them to detect some illness in their animals, and that goes directly to the e-commerce and they sell the product that helps you. So it's the perfect equation. So it makes the whole consumer journey in one shot in a piece of paper in the middle of the street, but with a lot of technology that you don't see but creates the magic. If you want, we can also watch.
Yeah,
this.
I was about to say, let's jump into it. Is there was that a video as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. Alexandra, if we can show the video.
And please let me know when it's finished.
Yes, I know, me too.
Every year in France, more than 1 million dogs skip their annual visit to the vet, risking the spread of an undiagnosed disease. Yet, a single drop of urine would suffice, so we decided to catch it directly at the source. Purina presents Street Vet, the first billboard that turns something as simple and natural as a pee on a pole into an instant health checkup. Born from 2 years of research by the Engineering Institute in Korea and the clinic Vet Paris 7, Street Vet can detect up to 4 different health problems by tapping into the dog's most natural of urges. Designed for both male and female, Street Vet attracts dogs by diffusing pheromones, a natural call to action for them. Street Vet collects the urine and directs it into a sterile environment. Tests are run using chemical reagents and screening technology. The analysis is displayed. And if a health problem is detected, Street Vet suggests a specific Purina Pro Plan diet, clinically designed to prevent the disease. When a deeper checkup is necessary, dog owners can download the results and bring them to the vet.
Street Vet permet d'être en avance sur la maladie et de savoir quand consulter.
Between each test, the entire system is automatically sanitized. Street after street, Purina Street Vet has reminded the millions of dog owners in France about the importance of regular health checks for their four-legged friends. And beyond the French borders, Street Vet generated enthusiasm amongst professionals and dog lovers around the world. With Purina Street Vet, monitoring dogs' health is now as easy as a walk in the park.
Great, thanks. Tell us a bit more. I didn't get a chance to see it. I need to jump on.
Yes. No, I think it's very funny. So that is the idea that is behind this, is that the owners of pets, especially the owners of dogs, they don't care too much about to make some analysis to the dogs and to see how special the food of their dogs could be. So they brought out like any dog food and that's it. But sometimes they need some vitamins, they need some special stuff on it. What they did, my colleagues from France, is to create a special outdoor with a poster that say, you can do a test in the moment with the pee of the dog. You know, the dogs, because the inside is very easy, because the dogs go to this outdoor installation normally and they pee over them. And them. So they take advantage of this real situation and they say, instead of just do the pee, when the dog do the pee, we are going to install under this a machine that analyzes the pee, and they directly give the result of the pee test in the screen in the poster. That was so you know in the moment if your dog is good or is healthy or is not, and they recommended to you the special food for your dog. So it's very nice, but it's funny because I think it's all lovely, and it won everywhere in many shows, because it's very special. It mixes the intelligence of the technology that we can have and use now with something that is very human, that is very human or very doggy, that is to do pee in the street. So it's that when you mix a human action, something that's a real truth, with something that technology can give us, it can have things like this. So it's very interesting.
That's going a bit into the innovation that you were talking about, but I guess you wanted to see this pushed a little bit further as well across the different submissions.
Yeah, because it wasn't many things, just this and another one. So it was like very important. So why? And also with the outdoors, so not a special outdoor, using the media, using the context where you are. I'm missing that.
Given the kind of current situation and a lot of conversations are happening, were you hoping to see this? I mean, obviously this, or maybe next year, touched on a little bit more, or there's a lot going on right now in the world, and is that going to be reflected in the press and outdoor category?
I think it's going to be a very strange year for brands and creativity, and even for events like this, because we don't know where the money is going to go. And especially in this moment that we've seen that there are no travels in companies, there are not meetings like events, we cannot go there. So we hope that in next year, with the vaccine is coming in end of the year or January, February, we don't know, nobody knows. And I don't know what we are going to see. I mean, in terms of how the industry is going to react, and it's going to have this prioritizing the creativity, that I hope that it happens, that we prioritize the creativity, because creativity is a tool to make business growth. It's not something that we just like because it's beautiful. No, creativity in our job is a very, very powerful machine to make business grow. And I hope that the clients take this and they put more money and resources in this, because now what I've seen is very survival stuff, it's like surviving this moment. And now we are at least at the first 3 months. Now what I'm having is a lot of many briefs for the new life, new moment, and they are activating their business, and they need consumers to buy, and they need people to do things. So we need to activate that through creativity. The only question mark for me is what kind of creativity is going to be, what kind of budgets, what kind of ambition. And of course, we are going to see many people that the good clients, the good brands is still going to be there. They are still going to be the ones that do great stuff, but they are going to be a majority of people that I seen that with a lot of fear sometimes. And keep on like shrinking budgets and shrinking ambition, and that's not good.
Fear is a concern, and also this short term you were talking about, going from a short term creative plan to going long term now, and really propelling into something that might be more relevant next year and beyond that. But I think there's a huge opportunity and gap for some brands to take the lead on this, and agencies as well. And
it's like it's creativity in times of war. It's a kind of that. And they have to be smart, and our job is also to convince them to use us more than ever.
And was that brought to the table at all in the judging process? Do you feel that there was some submissions that were a little bit more difficult to bring to conversation, some tense?
No, it was super cool. It was super nice. My jury, the jury members were amazing and super smart and super disposed, very respectful. But of course I miss the real thing, because sometimes the passion that comes alive in the discussions when you have one in front of the other is not the same that to press your button, your mic, and that magic I'm missing. But it was very well. We were very, how do you say, disciplined? I don't know if it's
disciplined. Is that the word?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not a native English speaker either. So
you can see me. That's very like we do it very formal. Let's do this. So it was good. But yes, of course we all there prefer to be looking at each other without the screen and having a beer after the sessions. Yes.
So that was part of the remote setup.
It has, but we have to get through that and also make it enjoyable. Make it enjoyable, yes.
And was there any final piece project submission?
Absolutely,
we want to talk about? Just
when we can go through my desk, through my desktop, because Alexandra can see my desk.
Yep. Oh, good.
Let me see, because I'm looking for example, one
specific
that is very innovative in terms. Where is that? I need a Spotify one. What is that?
Is there a way to search? Maybe.
Oh no, we are jumping to another category.
Oh, we had this issue just before. We were trying to search.
Yeah, we have this issue now, but
it would be great to pull it up.
Dear.
Spotify. Press on that door. Years there, maybe. It's gone with all the years.
Espérate. It's gonna see. Yes. No, but it appears another thing. Espera. Let's see. Look, well, no, that is nice. For example, this the Kentucky Fried Chicken. That is also something that was very nice to watch for us. Because very surprising how they do something that's so in the product in the middle. They're watching my screen, right?
Yeah, all good.
Start in the middle, with the product in the middle, but not watching the product. It was very nice to see. And when you see these posters in the middle of the street, they're pretty amazing. How they treat the brand, not invasive, but it was there, and was very elegant, very smart.
That's the word I was just about to say. Very elegantly.
Very elegant to show this food that is whatever, but not elegant. So that was something that we liked it a lot. And I'm going to show you. I want to talk a little bit about the
Spotify.
The Spotify. Come on, what is this?
Maybe if you filter through the years.
Yes.
Make sure it's 2020.
That is perfect. Dun, dun. Dun, dun.
So we see
sorry to the people that is out there and saying, come on, what is she doing?
Not at all.
What is not? my category here.
Coming up. I think
Thinking.
they're all good. Wow, interesting. Is it select?
No, it's not here.
Gone into
I'm
Brazil
sorry.
as well somehow.
Sorry.
I think it's selected as well, Brazil somehow, and the countries.
I'm not selecting any country.
Yeah, it somehow did seem to be selected. It's a little bit odd.
No, I don't know what is going on.
There you
But
go,
I'm
look.
sorry, everybody there.
Not at all. Not
I'm
at
sorry.
all.
It's Brazil.
Yeah.
I don't want Brazil.
Okay. There you go. Maybe that's giving us a bit more.
1 second. Disciplines, categories, yellow pencil, disciplines, craft.
Meanwhile,
advertising.
if you have any questions, let us
but
know.
I don't know how to do it. I'm ridiculously stupid doing this because I'm sorry. It's not the here you are.
Press an outdoor.
Chun, 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 chun. Where is this? Oh, come on. Well, we'll see. This is the other that I wanted to show, that this is the Japanese. We talked about illustration before. That is not working. I don't know. I'm trying to select and
technology.
I can. This is the. I'm trying to show it. I cannot. Sorry, this is not working. It's not working. I press. Oh yeah.
This one is.
No, but this is gonna happen again. Yeah.
There you
This is
go.
a Japanese campaign that we get in love. Very beautiful, crafted. Because of the illustration, there is a series of one, and the idea of this was that it's in a very special place in Okinawa in Japan, and they talk in a special language. What they did is to create a campaign for every local for local businesses, talking in the language of that area, like giving the free space to these local businesses to if they use the language of the Okinawa people. And they are super beautifully crafted, very elegant. You know, Japan is always a beautiful craft, and how they treat everything, the materials, and we really like this. But I was trying to go to Spotify. Let me see if I can. Just give me an opportunity.
Sure, of course. And final questions, anyone who's joining us, please ask away on Behance. We're happy to share. For Monica, who joined us today, and of course we're here every Thursday.
I put the link to the Spotify in the chat of Zoom.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
You can find it there.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Team.
You can do, let me see.
In the Zoom chat, it should be.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
That one, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. You're so nice. That is a campaign that we also mentioned about like some innovation, but we've seen it last year also, and it was how the data of Spotify make the campaign. It was a very nice also campaign, very well using. It's the one that was some copyright in there. Because of that, I wanted to show. There was one, and it was 2 lines. I say, wow, maybe there's something. And it's nice work, and it's like this. How Spotify it didn't get too as far as they could because of we have a little debate of the craft and the art direction, but it was how the intelligence of the Spotify, they can make us to know where we were and how we are now, and it was very nice about how they do and how they get into this, just having and showing the product. That is something that we've seen a lot. We have the Muddy Whopper, the Coca-Cola campaign of these macros of the beauty of the glasses and the liquid. We have a Spotify, so it's many things that get very, very far with just having the product in the middle. That sometimes again, as an industry, we try to avoid and just to go, and it's also a discovery. Okay, and it would be everything here on my side.
Yeah, brilliant. This was a really great one to finish on as well. I think with the copy of adding on a little bit as well. So
yes,
great.
Copywriters, come back, copywriters.
Yes, I'm also more from a copywriting background, so I'm loving this. But yeah, any final words from you? It was great chatting to you again today on this, D&AD partnership. Was there any final wrap up on the category you wanted to share before we end this session?
Yes, of course, absolutely. No, I think that's going to be a tough year, but it's going to be good to come back to do stuff that using the street, because I'm using the media even in these tough moments. But of course, encouraging this, because I think, especially when we talk at the beginning for students and the people that is coming into the industry, that try to challenge themselves doing just an idea in a piece of paper, and that have to work. And that for me is it's what this puts you in front of a huge challenge, without no tricks, without not I have the digital and the social and I connect this to that. No, without not a camera, just without you and a paper. And that is a great challenge to judge for a great ideas. And it's a good training. It's a good training to put yourself and the muscle of the creativity work in.
So main takeaway: less distraction for the next year, and a bit more focus.
Yes, absolutely. That is what I say.
And the last thing we learned was proactive, not just active. So
absolutely.
A lot to learn from this session. No.
Act, not react. No, we have to go forward, a step forward behind clients and everything, and even your competitors, people in the agency. Yes, to be more active. Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for all your insights.
Pleasure,
and thank you for everyone who joined.
It goes very fast.
Just an hour.
An hour.
Right?
No, but it was
and
good.
We can keep going.
Because 1 hour. Let's see how. It was very nice to talk to you, Emma. Thank you so much. You make it
really
so
enjoyed
easy.
it as well. No, it was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, everyone, to watching at home, and join us again Thursday.
Absolutely.
Another session.
Absolutely. Have a nice and lovely day, and bye everyone out there.
Bye.
Bye.